Adam, what did you make of Kevin De Bruyne's return then? Let's not avoid that issue anymore now. I mean, for me, it was just exhilarating to see him back on the
Yeah,
pitch.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's no secret for people who know me that I think he's the greatest player we've ever had. He's the greatest player I've ever seen, and there's some stiff competition in a City shirt for that title, but he is the best. Um, and I have been a bit concerned a couple of times in the past when he's been injured and he's come back and he's been a bit slow to get back. And I've started to think, oh no, one day he's going to, age is going to catch up with him, or an injury is going to catch up with him, and one day only when it's too late we'll realise we've already seen the best of Kevin De Bruyne. So whenever he's out, I'm always a bit nervous before he comes back because I just every game that we can see of him at his best is a great day. Um, and I really was expecting him to just come along and string a few passes together and not use up too much energy today. I was surprised he came on as early as he did because I thought it was nailed on for a 65 minutes from Pep, and he brought him on I think on about 58 or something like that. And I just thought he instantly looked like his old self. He looks happy to be back, and he was showing good energy. He whipped that shot over the bar. He was busy in the box. He probably hasn't played a lot with that team that personnel that was on there today because there was a lot of non-first team regulars there. But he fitted straight in, and it's totally exciting. We've got fresh Kevin back in January, and it's big boy time, and he's the biggest boy of all. So roll on.
I know, Adam, we're used to seeing great players at City doing great things, but that assist for Doku, I did look at it and think, could anybody else have actually done quite that assist? Maybe I'm being unfair there, but that was typical Kevin De Bruyne, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's quick of feet and he's quick of brain, isn't he? And I couldn't believe he didn't take that free kick. I can't remember who he let. Was it Sergio Gomez who took that free kick off him? Because I thought he was nailed on to get to do something special today because he just hit the ground running.
How high on your list, Kevin, is Kevin De Bruyne, Louisa?
Well, if you look back at my Facebook from the first season he started playing, he was already my favourite player. And I remember the citizens sending out when I was, you get the emails off them and everything when you remember. And they said, who's your favourite player? And it's like Kevin De Bruyne, straight away, first season. And, obviously we bought him because he had something very special and very magical. And he hit the ground running as soon as he joined the team. But I knew from what Pep can do that if he's already this excellent a player, oh my God, how amazing is he going to be in the next few years? And he isn't letting us down at all. He is one of those players that does get a free pass because he's just so amazing the rest of the time that if he does a bit of a dud, pass or messes up, which is very rare, but when he does it, he does get that free pass. But he has to get the free pass because of what he does the rest of the time. And today, he didn't put a foot wrong. He placed every single ball exactly where it should have gone with exactly the right pace. Scientific wise, if I had a scientist telling me all of the trajectories today and seeing lines and things on the screen, I'd have been mesmerized by it all because you could just see it happening in front of you. And we used to call the wonderful magician David Silva, but my God, we've got a new magician in the ranks, definitely.
I bet Erling Haaland's when he comes back anyway, will be glad that Kevin De Bruyne is back in the side because he even in the adverts that she saw on the TV for Sky, I think it was, he called him the assist king, didn't he? I mean, you're obviously in touch with the media down south a lot more than I am, Kip. But I bet Chelsea are still regretting letting Kevin De Bruyne go, eh?
Well, they try and justify it, but and Mourinho will try and justify why he did it. But I mean, well, listen, it's City's game certainly, wasn't it? So they're very happy now, and it looked for all like he was going to score with his very first touch as well, didn't it? Coming on today, but for the deflection from Oscar Bob, I think he would have scored because he timed his run brilliantly getting in there. But Pep's all about the control. Just all due respect to Huddersfield, they were pretty tired by the time he came on, and they had a bit of a run around. But you just again sensed the control was there anyway. But you sense he just went up another notch when De Bruyne comes on the pitch. He just oozes class and makes the game look so simple. I mean, even for the second Foden goal with a short corner, he plays it brilliantly through two players, and he's such a clever player.
One or two City fans have said to me on social media, in fact, somebody said it in the match day vlog that I did today, you know, what happens when Kevin De Bruyne is back to full fitness? Where does Phil Foden go? Because a lot of people have enjoyed watching Phil Foden playing in a more central position. Can it accommodate the two of them in the middle, or will one of them have to drift wider? And I understand that Pep's tactics are not as rigid as perhaps football tactics generally were 30 years ago, when it was a bit more you play in that position, you play in that. It is a lot more fluid. But is there room for the two of them to play together?
I mean, potentially in certain games there could be. I mean, also don't forget Rodri wasn't there today. Now you suddenly get Rodri as that holding midfield player. You can almost do whatever you want in front of him because he's that good at playing that role, as we've seen. You know how much he's missed when he's not there. So I think. So I mean, Foden's made no secret that he loves playing that more central role. But again, because Pep is all about this control of games now. Again, like I say, it might be certain opposition that they can play them both more centrally. I certainly think there'll be scope for it. I can't see why not. But maybe for the balance in some of the bigger games against the top clubs in the Premier League, or maybe some big European games, that he might not want that for the balance and the control of the game, which I understand. But I mean, it would be such a shame, wouldn't it, if one of them's also if one of them's sitting on the bench. I mean, what a player to come on, you know. So it just shows the quality and the strength of the squad. And also, you know, he's been out, De Bruyne, since the first game of the season. So, and not doing bad. Let's get it right. So suddenly now he's back at full fitness. What a massive boost and a huge plus that will be.
Well, following on from what you're saying there, at the end of today's match day vlog, I spoke to Sam Matterface, who is the very well-travelled commentator for Talk Sport, does a lot for TV as well these days. And I said to him, what do you think 2024 is going to bring for City, given that 2023 was effectively the perfect year? Can it be equalled? And he answered by saying that with Kevin De Bruyne back in the team, anything's possible. How do you feel about that, Kit?
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, they've done, you know, City a little minor wobble, if you like, but far from a disaster. I mean, I know people love to blow things up and say, you know, this, that, and the other. But yeah, okay, dropped a few points, but you will do that over the course of a season. Traditionally, anyway, City always come strong the second half of the season. But now you've got De Bruyne to come back in now, Rodri from today, Haaland. You're like, wow, you know, and it's looking brilliant today, really. If you think about it, I know it was, you know, all due respect, and to Huddersfield, it was obviously slightly easier opposition, but it was an incredible performance, and it's only going to get better, I feel, and just at the right time. So, I mean, even the Liverpool managers said what the rest of the Premier League's like shaking now with De Bruyne coming back. I think he said it maybe a little bit tongue in cheek, but also he'll be worried because he knows just how good he is and what a huge boost it will give to everyone at the club.
And of course, the Premier League's top scorer last season, and this Erling Haaland is still to come back. I mean, it's mind-boggling, really.